What's going on, traders? How we doing on out there? I hope you guys have had a great market day. I know I've had a good one. I'll talk all about it right here on, of course, at the close. It looks like I'm gonna be a lonely at the close here. I don't got Joel with me, but I got my charts. I'm gonna definitely talk about what I saw out there. So smash the like, get it started, and welcome to At the Close. We're missing Spencer. I'm about to give Spencer a call. I'm missing him right about now.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, traders, welcome back here. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the market. And before we go ahead and dive into the market to see the action that we got today, I need to do myself a favor and cover my Tesla short from earlier today. So I'm covering that right about now. Got in that at 735.68. Now down to 708 there, 708.95. I'm out of that trade. I needed to close that before we got a little bit further, and I forgot all about it, left it open into the market day. I'll talk about it, but let's take, of course, a look into the SPY. And what did we see in the SPY action today? You guys can see we rode up there towards that resistance, right up there where I had the trend line. I'll show you guys this trend line and why I drew it. If you take a look at the daily chart, you're going to see here how we've been kind of building up some resistance up by this 3080s and so 380s. You can see we've been trying to get on up there. We reject every time that we've gotten up there before. You can see it here, close at the 379.20s. It did go up above that, but that's the level that I'm pointing towards on the upside. And there you guys have it. It comes into play. But we did make a lot of this rally up from giving it up in the futures market. So a strong day there in the SPY. We can take a look at some of these names that are in the SPY, some of our leaders. How did our leaders do today? Let's take a look at some of the leadership. Apple is down, but up on the day. At least in the intraday action. But of course, this kind of decline in the pre-market was what kept it down there. Microsoft getting a little bit of a bounce. Google, not too bad. Tesla is actually down about only 0.2, but it rode up there for a second there. It was pushing on up there. I actually did a little bit of a reversal trade. I can talk about it now because I am freely out of the trade here. Let's talk about this one. When this one started reversing up there around the 740s, I started hitting it with a resistance of 736, trying to hold that one. Didn't want to see it go back to the 739s. We eventually got this down through the VWAP, and it actually held off the bounce there from the VWAP, coming right back down towards the low. So not a bad move there in a short on Tesla. Yes, I said it, guys. What's up there? Yeah, no Joel, unfortunately. Joel looks like he was busy today. So we'll see what happens. Like always, he'll be back. This is what it's all about. Is Kramer going to crush Zuckerberg or stroke him? That's a little bit of interesting there. Comments there from Thrifty. We'll see what happens. Zuckerberg will be on Kramer today on Mad Money. We'll see. How did Meta do today? Ooh, not a good ending tape here as it falls off around 245. You did see it make a little bit, but it's coming right back to it. Actually down on the day. Let's take a look at what was hot and what was not. This is what I like to do all the time is take a look at to see what did good and what did not. How did you short Tesla? Well, shares, equity, not options. But I could show you that kind of trade. It's not a big deal. T Lee, if you want to check that out, you can actually go to the live trading stream where I got my entry in. That will tell you how I did it. So check that out. Mike Robinson, what happened to Spencer? Well, Spencer moved on from Benzinga. He's on to hopefully bigger and better things. I always want to see him definitely grow, and we'll find out what he's up to. But he's enjoying his summer right now, and I hope he's off somewhere, sipping some good pina coladas, or at least a good drink somewhere, maybe a good bourbon. But hey, shout out to Spencer. I hope he's enjoying it, and we definitely continue to love. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the other leadership and what out there was trading well. Okay, so let's go into what's hot and what's not. So real estate was really good today. It actually bounced on up there. It was about 1.91 from the open, and showing you that with that gap down, it still made a nice ride on up. It's been coming back here in the last hour or so, but let's take a look at some of those names like Lennar after putting in a good earnings report. That was on Tuesday. You can see here Lennar really getting that lift here, and now it's not looking too bad. If you take a look here on the daily chart, you definitely made a recovery of that harmony that you put in yesterday. We need to see a push above 70 really to see this coming back right now. But definitely the hourly chart was definitely good. We saw this leading right out the gates, and it wasn't only Lennar. You can take a look at some other names out there. DHI had a good one, 4.5 day up there. You can take a look at PHM. Pewitt Homes, a lot of these kind of moving towards the upside. Residential construction, not a bad day there as it overall the industry up about 2.5 here. Healthcare is the next area that I'd take a look at. So what I'm looking at in healthcare is this was actually a play that we did on live trading. So full disclosure, I'm out of it. Moderna. It was a really quick day trade here on Moderna, but it wasn't a bad one here. We took that right out the gates on the strategy called the VWAP bounce, and that wasn't a bad attempt here. So one of the things that you're looking for is a nice push right out the gates, right? Then when the stock comes back towards VWAP, we're going to look for it maybe even to click down below like you got here. But when it started recovering that VWAP is when I jumped in here and then wrote it up for the quick win towards the high of the day. Look for a continued move on up, and already took profit into this 130. So it wasn't a bad little day trade there. But as you can see, I missed a lot of the action. This is why I like more of swing trade approaches in the long term. Need to get back to doing some more swing trading, but with this market, it's been pretty tough. Let's go ahead. I got you, Jeffrey. I'll go ahead and I'll talk about that coming up next about Powell. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up and what he said today. I think it's important. We'll talk about it. All right, so if we take a look here at healthcare, it was a lot of the drug manufacturers. So you could see today, J&J having a good day, Lilly having a good day, and really Pfizer was leading us really early on in the morning. That's what got me excited about Moderna, seeing Pfizer up. I said, I'll go for Moderna because I already missed the Pfizer play. It was already coming off the VWAP, and I caught the laggard. You guys can see today it was a good day here for Pfizer, and you can take a look at the daily chart, or let's go towards a weekly, or even more. Let's go towards the monthlies. I know Joel would be proud of me going into the monthlies here. So smash the like, guys. One of the things that I see on Pfizer is just a nice bottoming action coming into play now around the 47. If we could really get through 55, I think you could see some upside move here in Pfizer. And this one's continued to tried to break up through that 60. Hasn't been able to do it. If you take a look at the weekly, we just looked like we were breaking down, but we quickly recover here. I want to see if it can hold 50 tomorrow. That'll show that it's continued strength and trying to make a lift towards that resistance. What's up here? What's your thoughts on Walmart? I own equity going nowhere except near my stop loss, hold or let it go. Well, I can't tell you exactly what to do, Manu, because I'm not a financial advisor. But can I take a look at Walmart and see where the levels that I would be looking at? Yeah, of course. I'll go ahead and I'll do that for you. I got no problem with that. But let's talk a little bit about what the Fed talked about. And of course, you guys can look into that right now. Let me actually pull it up here. I have some of the comments here. I just had to minimize it here. Boom. All right. So this was coming from Fed today, released here. And, you know, one of the things that we're kind of watching is that how's this really going to develop? You know, today they were really kind of bashing him a little bit, but what did we expect? I didn't expect anything else but to hear that the Fed was fighting inflation, right? And these were their comments. At the Fed, we understand the hardship of high inflation is causing. We are strongly committed to bringing inflation back down. We are moving expeditiously to do so. The Fed chair said in remarks from the Senate Bank Committee, we We both have the tools we need and the resolve it will take to restore the price stability on behalf of the American families and businesses. Then, of course, he was hit hard with some questions. They started talking about how, hey, but this could cause a recession. This could really hurt the economy. This could hurt the middle class. This could hurt the people. Well, he said, yes, it's certainly a possibility, but it's not our intended outcome at all. But it is a certain possibility. And frankly, the events that have happened in the last few months around the world have made it difficult for us to achieve what we want, which is 2% inflation with still a strong labor market. So one of the things that I continuously see is more and more mentions of the strong labor market. And with this, I would keep on watch to see if we do get a weakening of the labor market, how does the Fed react there? If they actually see that, oh, snap, we're not being able to tackle inflation and the jobs numbers are starting to fall, what will they do then? I'll throw the question out to you guys, something to definitely talk about. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at what's going on out there. GGPI broke 11, merger approved to start trading on PSN. Polestar on June 24th. GGPI, look at that. Nice little takeoff there. You can see the volume there. Definitely, we've seen this make SPACs run before. Will be interesting to watch GGPI. If you take a look here on the daily, nice recovery after dropping into the 9s. Didn't expect to see this one underneath 10, but now you're seeing it come back. We'll see if it gets ramping back up. One of the things with the approval is to also watch if there's anybody kind of redeeming shares, right? You'd be redeeming shares around the 10, but it could be that you got a share redemption. Another thing to keep in watch with SPACs is floats. So keep that in your forefront. All right, let's go towards other stocks that kind of fell today, was energy getting hit again. So I'll show you guys here. This is kind of my sector outlook. And if you take a look at some of the names, you'll take a look, of course, at ExxonMobil today. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and take this retrace off for us here. Let me just go ahead and delete that so you guys can see a little bit better here. I kind of want to get this retrace out the way too. Don't want you guys to get distracted here. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here. You can see how we held just sideways on the 15-minute. Didn't really go anywhere, at least for me and ExxonMobil. So it's something that's still on my radar to keep on watch. It could go up. It could come down from here. I don't have a specific answer for that. Of course, we're keeping on mind to see what happens with Biden. A lot of that's going to be if he's going to do kind of take off the federal tax and the state tax there. But really, how much will that help? It's not really, I think, going to change the price of oil, right? But they did kind of mention they are trying to do a meetup. So keep it on watch. I still have a bullish upside, but as you guys can see, another pullback day in energy, and it's not looking too hot right now. But that's just the truth. Basic materials also pulling back big today. Coal stocks pulling back about 4.6%, copper 5.8%. So definitely a turnaround in those kind of stocks there, not being able to hold the gains. Shannon, is it Monday yet? Almost. We're almost there, Shannon. No worries. At least this is a fast weekend. So tomorrow will already be Thursday and we'll be getting into Friday soon enough. So hang in there. Sometimes a battle. All right, come on. It's a short week, said Easy. Yeah, hang in there. We'll get through it. I know sometimes it's always not the best, and sometimes we want to look towards the weekend, but be a weekday battler. Be a weekday person. It's okay. Don't worry about that, Shannon. You hang in there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks that were up. If we want to do that, we can take a look at utilities. Utilities was also up a pretty good amount here. What found a bounce? Well, stocks like Duke found a bounce today. So finally seeing the bounce in utilities after these stocks were getting really crushed down. Stocks like Dominion Energy, even stocks like PCG getting a nice little lift today. We'll kind of continue to watch these stocks, but as you guys can see, some of these are coming back. Excel Energy also showing a little bit of a bottoming, but how much will this retrace and how much will it go back up? I'm not so sure with, of course, interest rates continuing to rise. I'm feeling tomorrow's pain already. Oof. Hang in there. Hang in there. We got your back. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's take a look here at some other names here. We can take a look at some defensive names. Those weren't the craziest moves, but let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. What made a big move, of course, Revlon. Revlon was making some moves today. We got up there towards a high here. What else? What did we get a high of? We got a high of 989 there for Revlon. Definitely making a rip out, but also fading back down. Back down to 810 here. So going to definitely keep an eye on Revlon. If you guys got a stock, to go ahead and check it on out. Throw it up in the chat. I'll go ahead and I'll grab it on and throw it up. Born liking the XL chart. XL Energy is really popular. I mean, I used to use them. So I've used Duke. I've used Excel. Those are definitely two that I've used. I don't know if anybody else have used them, but yeah, definitely. Bankrupt is the way to go, says Kevin. Yeah. What can I say about this chart? It's made a complete drive back from the numbers that I mean, it's crazy to think that we were down right by $1. This has made an over 500% move. We'll see when Rev takes a breath there and comes back down towards 6, but definitely it's going to be a battle. Born saying I have Duke. Yeah, I think I have Duke Energy here too. So, hey, we're going to continue to see what happens with these. They usually come down with higher interest rates, and that's why you saw that kind of turn around. But the question is, with also the rising prices of materials in energy, what are you going to see in the next levels? 105? Are we going to see 110? Are we going to see it get back towards 112? I'm not so certain about that. With the battling of the Fed and continuing to point to raising interest rates, you could see a kind of battle there. Palantir, I see him mentioned in the chat. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that. That was getting a mention yesterday by some of the analysts, but let's see if it had a good day too. Decent day too. Trying to close up about above 9. You can see we got above 9 multiple times today, but really couldn't hold anything above that 9. I'll be looking for another push through 9. If we can get a close above that, that won't look too bad here on Palantir. Really needs to close up this shadow, get back all the way up there. So that's a move up there towards 952. We'll see if we can get it up there. All right, let's go ahead. Thoughts on Voyager. Speaking of, I always even forget what Voyager's ticker is called. I've never traded it personally, so I think it's VYG something, but I'll take a look here. Mine finds it for me. VYGVF. All right, so Voyager Digital now down to 59 cents, and man, holy moly. Yeah, danger, Will Robinson, danger. You guys, I would watch out for this. This looks like it could very much disappear. It's 59 cents. Let's just be honest. And it was up towards above $20. So this stock has retraced about 98%. Talk about an upset. That's not what you expected to see. This stock could disappear real soon. I would stay away from it, but it's always what you guys want to choose your own risk assessment. I'm always as straight as can be. I would stay away. All right, Kellogg's, not a bad day there. Pulling on back there. Can't hold the gains, but it's looking like it's on a 1 hour pullback. We'll look to see if it can get back up there. I need my Frosted Flakes, so we'll see what happens. And Bobby White, I might agree with you. We'll see. Bill, I certainly hope so. Let's just talk about that. We won't talk too much about that, but I certainly hope so, Bill. Let's get through it. MU Chase bringing up there. Micron. Micron just not showing any signs of strength, showing more signs of weakness. And until you see this turn around, yeah, you see a lot of bottoming, some wicks here. You could go off of maybe a 55 or today's low, but I think you're guessing or trying to pull strings here. There's no guarantee that this is going to catch the bottom. And until I see the overall market trend change, I would be wondering about what's going to happen there. Higher low, higher low. Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad for MU. The only problem is that it's a lot of wicks down here. There's not a lot to show me that it needs to come back here. Another thing that I would be looking at in MU is if there's a catalyst really to kind of make a push up. All right, let's keep going. Don't mute me. Yeah. BNZMB, don't worry. I tried my best not to miss that time. Be careful, though. Could get you. All right, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of these other stocks. How did the Bitcoin stocks do? I know that we've been seeing a little bit of a bounce there. Oof. Probably it down to $4. Let's take a look at Mara. Down to $6. This doesn't look good. What also was getting hit today, or what found some bounce? Let's take a look here. All right, industrial is getting a little bit of a bounce back. Where was that? Let's take a look here. So it looks like waste management up, but I don't look at too many of those. Airlines catching a little bit of a bounce today. American Airlines, this one's not looking too bad here. You're seeing a lot of sideways action. We'll look to see if we get another leg down, but it is sideways here. A move back above 1350 would interest me. It could come back here towards the resistance of 1359, then get on through there towards 14. Is one to keep on watch. Has been beaten down. Could get a kind of a little bit of rally, but the upside of demand in airlines, I think, is going to really see some lag, and we're going to be worried about some demand destruction coming into this industry. Shopify. Let's take a look at Shop. All right, Shopify down there to 339. Something definitely to keep on watch. Do we get back above major levels? Let's go towards the weekly to look for those major levels. So for me, that's a move back up here towards, I would say, 380s. And so 380s, I think, is still in play towards the upside right now. So if you're trying to play maybe just a quick momentum in Shop, that's what I'd be looking for it to do. A move back up towards 380, but it needs to hold here. You can see how it's been driving, falling. If it doesn't hold the next drive, it could possibly be right back down there to 300. And I don't think we expected to see Shopify at 300. So just be careful there. I remember when Spencer was looking at this one at 500. Glad he didn't hold on to it. He got rid of it quick. And that's what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes the quick stop out can definitely save you on a stock like Shopify that has room to continue coming down. Close half of my meta puts. Kramer scare you. Don't worry. Kramer scares me too, but in probably not the same way. But we'll talk about that. Let's take a look here at Meta. Not a bad little close there if you got that. At least going into the move, you got some weakness. So that doesn't look too bad getting down there to 156. We'll take a look at the daily chart. It's definitely trying to break through here, trying to fill into this spot here. The big thing is, where do we actually find some support here on this? And if you take a look at the monthlies, we're coming on down there towards the next level, which is 150s. That's where I would look to maybe find some. If we don't find it there, very easily we could be back down there towards 127. So watch out down there, guys. Meta definitely still on the continued downfall and doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. All right, Money Mitch is going to get him. Don't worry, just a matter of time. Hey, you know that one. The clock is ticking, Kramer. The clock is ticking, and guess what? The new generation isn't so much of a fan, and I'm going to go ahead and work my way to the top. That's the only way I know. Smash the like. Let's go. Like Happy said, can we break 100? Looks like we got over 293 people here. Throw up some stocks, guys. I'm willing to take them. That's what I'm here for, you guys. Kroger, I see mentioned in the chat. I'll take a look at that. Mr. 505, Mr. Ali, I got you. Let's go to Kroger here. Kroger pulling back about 2% here. And really, I mean, this is coming on back here. It has been coming on back for a good while now. Peaked around April 8th and has been coming down from that level. You're now down about 23%. And that's not what you want to be seeing in a grocery store. But one thing you are running into is a longer-term trend line. If you can take a look here, I'm going to actually delete these lines for us because I feel like there's too much on there. So boom, let's delete that. Let's create a new trend line here. And you can see how we're running on into here. One of the things that I look for is to really get a confirmed trend line. You want to have at least 3 price points matching on up And that right there was going to give you the trend line. So I'm going to look for a move closer towards 45, finding that support, and then coming back up through 50s. Doesn't look too bad in Kroger's. It does look like it's fighting a little bit. All right, let's go take a look at the DraftKings. DraftKings catching a little bit of a bid here. I'm kind of upset I didn't buy this. I wanted to get it closer towards 10, but you can see here that 1050 is holding multiple times. I think I still get an opportunity. So I'm going to be patient with this one, but it did have a nice day. It drove up there towards 13. Tried what? One time, came down. Second time, came down. Third time, came down. Needs to hold support here, needs to hold down here towards, I would say, 1236 and come back ramping through a 1275 to try to take out that 1296 and get into the 13s. That's where I could see it keep going, but it would need to kind of push hard, and 100% rejected 13 hard and multiple times rejecting above there. And then what happens after you get multiple rejections? It loves to come back to support. Stocks do this all the time. When we get enough rejections, it comes back and tests the other way to see if anybody's willing to step up to kind of scoop up some more shares to try to get it to drive right back up. All right, NVIDIA being mentioned in the chat, and Amber Turd. It's kind of hard to pick your stocks because of your lovely face that you have in your image there, but I'll take a look at Baba in a second. Oh, man, that Amber Turd. NVIDIA here. All right, NVIDIA trying to catch that 163 here. It did bounce back. This is one that I was looking to play here on the downside for a breakdown, but it's holding well. Holding well here. So the big move here now is watching 165. 165 is going to be an important level. You're going to run into kind of this trend line if you draw it across. That's what we'll be looking for, a move back up to 165, getting up there to 168. If you wanted to see this break out, it needs to get back above 170. A breakdown below 160, and you could get some heavy downside action coming for those 154s down there. All right, let's go towards some other stocks here. Baba, I said I'd take a look at the turd, but I meant Amber Turd, not Baba's a turd. We'll see what happens right now. It's continuing to hold. Right now, it's kind of playing games. You can look here on the 4-hour. This was a DD push. I've had that held there. That was that push and catalyst. And you can see how we keep holding here. We're going to look for a big move. I would definitely be watching for that above 110s tomorrow. If you get that lift through 110s, we get a bullish day again. You could see a rally up there towards 120. All right, let's keep it going here. Other stock mentioned, Roblox. All right, as you guys can see, this is trying to hold 30 and trying to start coming on back here. I take a look at the daily chart. You can see here how you got a couple of rejections on up here. Now it's trying to come back up through here. If you can get into the 33 handle and really hold, that's where I'd kind of watch for Roblox to start putting in a bottom and making another drive towards the upside. There's a lot of turds out there, that's for sure. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at a stock like Unity with Roblox. It's just also showing me a little bit of bottoming action here. So I talk about this often. When I'm looking for bottoming action, I'm looking for about 3 or 4 bottoms. So you can see here, you get about 2 there. You get a third bottoming action right now. And then what happened? You actually test down towards that first one, and you can't reverse, giving you also a bullish engulfing candle look. And now you're really starting to see the momentum come back. 35 is what I'd be using, but I think this can come back up and maybe get towards the 50s. So keep this on your radar, especially if we continue to have the upside. I think you get these to get a little push. But of course, like always, know you're out and understand what type of time frame you're looking at and where you're trying to trade it to. All right, guys, it looks like we got over 337 people. It's 4 p.m. That means I'm wrapping it on up. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the content that we have here on Benzinga. I've been going on all day long, like always, guys. We're going to keep on going. We're going to do it up like we always do. Sound the alarm. Yes, change the colors on up. Whatever we need to do to bring you guys the information edge that you guys need to continue trading and improving on your skills. Like always, guys, we're going to have continued content. If you didn't catch today's list makers and you want to find out a little bit more about esports, go check out that stream. I did a great interview with Ann Han on there with Super League Gaming. So it's not just the list makers. We also touched some great interviews. So go ahead and check that out. I'll continue growing with you guys and seeing you guys tomorrow morning on Pre-Market Prep with none other than Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick. Continue on going right here on Benzinga. Always trying to up your skills is the only way. We'll see you next time, guys. Definitely much love and continue to work. And like always, guys, reach out to me if you guys need anything at all. You guys can hit me up, mitch@benzinga.com. If you guys got some feedback for the team, you guys should definitely let us know. We're always trying to make it better. And have a great one, guys. Take care.